Good evening and welcome to Sunset News on this Thursday evening. As always, we bring you news, community stories, economics, weather and sports. I am Aina Koyom. In the news tonight, the Koimanin Traditional Authority leadership led by their Queen Juliana governors has occupied the city of Windhoek Chamber until they are heard by the leadership. Harold Akwenye confirmed that Windhoek Mayor Oneuptwo Joseph is expected to meet the delegation. Have a look.
State of affairs with the mayor and also with we have been writing letters. We have not been seen. I don't know whether you will be able to quickly come in so that you can see us. Are you not at City of Windhoek? Okay, we are in the boardroom. What do you call this boardroom? Council chamber. Council chamber. Yeah. And for that matter, we did it for so many times and they are not even responding to our requests. We do not even have that authenticity to answer.
In our next story, Stanley Shanapinda, the CEO of Telecom Namibia, shared the 5 pillars of integrated strategic business plan. The plan includes fiberizing the town of Oranjemund as the first smart city in Namibia. Furthermore, Shanapinda discusses the new billing system that will cost Telecom a total of 327 million.
Then we secondly want to look at the fiber side of our business. The fiber is really the future. The stability and the speed that fiber gives you for businesses, because data usage is just increasing. As you know, as media houses, you've also pivoted towards digital news, and so there's a lot of data that's required for that, and fiber is really the best in that regard. So we're looking at how many houses we can pass in the next 5 years. There's a big gap there that we need to service, and so we're looking at deployments in that regard for fiber. A key example and key project that we have is Oneuptwo, where we're looking at creating that smart city for Oneuptwo. The whole of Oneuptwo is being fiberized, for example. And then we're looking at our billing system. In our billing system, we're saying we want to create a converged environment. That billing system is going to allow for various types of innovation for our customers. How you recharge your services, applications. As you know, we have some trouble with our customers reconnecting after we suspend services. So now that can be a seamless process where if you pay, automatically the system can pick up that you've paid with your reference number, and then you can be reconnected in a matter of minutes, and you can be on your way, as opposed to a current manual process that creates some frustration, where we need to a whole room of people that physically need to say, did you pay? Can we reconcile? And then, yes, your service is up. And we know that creates some frustration. So it was very key for us to launch that new billing system project on the 22nd. And this is the second week. So this is the second week anniversary today that project has started. We've signed that contract with SATEC. And so that project is going to cost us roughly in 327 million Namibian dollars, and we're hoping to launch that service towards the end of 2024. The fourth key project that we want to roll out is what we call the FMC core. So that's our core network. So that we also now will start discussions, finalize the contract and sign the contract for that FMC core that also allows for converged services, so a customer can get one bill for all of their various services. Currently you have different account numbers, you have different services and different bills, and that creates a lot of inconveniences for the customers as well. So you have one reference number, and so that is the next project, big project that we will be launching, and that project is going to be in the ballpark figure of roughly $117 million that we would be investing in.
Urban and Rural Development Minister Erastus Utoni today officially inaugurated Extension 15 and Sky Phase 1 sewer reticulation project at Oneuptwo in Oshana region. Although the application for sewer connection could cost 2,169.68 cents VAT inclusive, Oneuptwo Town Council has resolved to afford residents of the two extension fees sewer connection payment holidays until 30 November 2023 and 31st December 2023 respectively. Chiemo Haidula reports.
Once again, to now commission this pump station, a project that now deals with sewer reticulation in this extension 15. So I just want to say congratulations to you all, starting with the council, the community, for your patience that you have been going through these challenges for many years. But today, we are celebrating. It's now my honor to officially inaugurate. Thank you.
Two graduate teachers, along with the community, set up a makeshift school in Kavango West region, were left fuming after the government took over the school and replaced them with new teachers. After getting the school recognized by the government and spending their own resources to educate close to 100 learners over the past 6 months, Thomas Simbudu and Anna Frida Kandanga from the Karanawa village were not considered when teaching posts at the school were advertised. Quoting President Hagen Geingobb's call for meeting government halfway, the unemployed pair said they felt betrayed. Simbudu, a graduate from the Simbudu is a graduate of the International University of Management, while Kandanga graduated from the University of Namibia. Both graduated in 2020. Moving over to our next story, Namibia's Sovereign Wealth Fund has grown to 385 million Namibian dollars from its initial capital injection of 270 million Namibian dollars deposited at its launch in May 2022. This marks the growth of 115 million Namibian dollars in the Welwitschia Fund value in over a little year. Now, this despite no further injection being made into the fund. The Bank of Namibia, which manages the fund on behalf of the government, said. Providing the update, Central Bank spokesperson Kadembire Themburuka said the strength of the United States dollar contributed to the fund's growth. The Sovereign Wealth Fund was launched with an initial balance of around 270 million Namibian dollars in May 2022. There have been no subsequent injections into the fund. Moving over to our next story, a strong cold front is expected in Namibia over the weekend, which might bring rain to the south and frost elsewhere in the country. Farmers are warned by Namibian Weather Service to take the necessary precautions to protect their crops and animals. Have a look.
Terwyl ryp teen Sondag en Maandag in die suide, ooste en sentrale dele van die land verwag word, meen weerkenners dat reënweer opnuut vanaf Sondag in die Skarra-streek verwag kan word. Die Namibiese Weerkantoor het Donderdag 6 Julie 'n weerwaak uitgereik waarvolgens koue toestande na verwagting teen Saterdag in die suide sal posvat. Teen onderskeidelik Sondag en Dinsdag sal ysige koue toestande in die suide, ooste en sentrale dele van die land heers. Gewas- en veeboere behoort die nodige voorsorgmaatreëls teen die koue te tref, het die Weerkantoor gewaarsku. Die weerdiens weather.com voorspel dat temperature in die hoofstad Sondag so laag as -5 kan daal, met 'n maksimum van 19 grade Celsius, terwyl Maandag se minimum temperatuur op -3 kan staan, met 'n maksimum van sowat 13 grade Celsius.
In our Story of the Day segment, international cybersecurity experts have warned of rising business email compromise attacks. We will be back shortly.
is Africa. Good morning.
Name is Aina Raizakwaya alongside Diana Master.
In the ANC conference in December. So starting off with the cycling.
Africa, good morning. Do have a lovely...
Minister Monica Mchangwa has said that
with the soccer, the English Premier League continued, the biggest game being...
On that note, it is all our love, all our light. In our Story of the Day segment, international cybersecurity experts have warned of the rising business email compromise attack, which have increased by 81% in 2022 and 175% over the past 2 years. In the next insert are some examples of these online scams, as well as how you can protect yourself. Esther Kamati reports.
Business email compromise attacks have increased by 81% in 2022 and 175% over the past 2 years, according to international cybersecurity experts, including the United States-based Abnormal Security. This trend also seems to be increasing in Namibia, with various institutions warning clients not to fall victim. Business email compromise is an advanced phishing scheme which impersonates people, organizations, or entities known to the victim. It works by manipulating email addresses so the sender appears legitimate. This form of scamming may also happen over the phone, and in Namibia, scammers have turned to phoning people under the pretense of being from the bank or having sent them a PIN by mistake, while others pretend to be from a telecommunications company or request personal information. According to Bank Windhoek's Manager of Forensic Services, Johnny Truter, the most common victims of business email compromise are companies that use online transfers to send money to international clients. Other examples of business email compromise include impersonating vendors or other account representatives, often through the use of fake invoices which seem authentic and believable, sent to victims in hopes that they send money to the scammer. Another example is when scammers impersonate senior management officials and request monetary, online, or personal information. Cybercriminals also make use of phishing attacks to take control of victims' personal accounts, including their emails. This allows attackers to distribute phishing emails to the victims' contact list and engage with recipients who are under the impression that they are engaging with the victim. Cybercriminals also target people working in the human resource departments of companies in an attempt to steal personal information such as full names of individuals, identity numbers, phone numbers, and even personal or home addresses. The city of Windhoek in June cautioned residents to not fall for scammers who request that their accounts be paid via electronic funds transfers or e-wallet to avoid discontinuation from municipal services. The municipality reassured that their payment options have not changed and that they have not delegated anyone to phone residents in that regard. Bank Windhoek's Manager of Forensic Services further recommends that vigilance is key in preventing this type of scamming through paying attention to the tones of people with whom you engage, as well as avoiding attachments sent from untrusted sources, as these are likely to distribute malware. He further recommends that requests for money or confidential information be confirmed verbally or via an alternative method before complying. Most importantly, to safeguard finances from fraudsters and for self-protection, customers should never share personal and account information, especially their banking personal identity number, by telephone, email, or the internet. They should also know that banks will never ask them to confirm their personal information over the phone. If they receive a transaction notification that they did not do, customers are encouraged to call their respective bank and stop all transactions, he added.
After the break, we return with Community Talk.
Welcome to My.NA Cars, your ultimate destination for everything automotive.
I am your host, Diana Master.
Teamwork makes the dream work, right?
Discover the latest models, innovative technologies, and expert insights from our passionate hosts. Learn essential maintenance tips and get exclusive behind-the-scenes access to the automotive industry. Don't miss My .NA Cars on NTV every Thursday at 2100 hours. Tune in and ignite.
Petra Vetboy, chairperson of Leonardville Village Council, this morning said their greatest hope is that Uranium One, the Russian state-owned uranium that is in the process of being in situ mining, will bring development to solve poverty. Have a look.
We want to create jobs for our people. We want that woman to take the tomato and make it tomato paste, make it tomato sauce to value addition. And I'm calling upon Uranium One, Rosatom, to take our hand and take us to the place that we want to be. Also with the milk project, we can start with Leonardville. Why can't we have 20 milking cows here in Leonardville? That will be milk, and milk will be provided to the school kids. That can supplement their feeding scheme. Because giving people food is good, but it's not sustainable. We need sustainability. We need a garden where people can go and harvest and feed themselves. We need cows where people can go milk them and feed their children. I'm challenging Uranium One to make it one of their businesses to make sure that Leonardville is self-sustained. When you have to eat from someone else's hand, you feel like a worm. Etiva. I don't know what is a worm in Kwekwekoa. Oneuptwo. And when you feed yourself, you feel proud. When you know you have worked for what you're eating, you feel good. I hope we can start with the realization of that dream here in Leonardville. And Leonardville, that place that we said is in darkness, can be the light for the whole of America. Yes. And the whole of America can follow after us. We have an unemployment rate of 34% in the region, which is, to my understanding, also an understatement. Because alone in Leonardville, maybe 10% of the people are working. 90% are unemployed. So the 34% to me is still an understatement. And you go to Bedford, the same scenario like Leonardville. And then you look at communal areas, unemployment. And Omaheke is having 23% of the total San population is found in Omaheke. These are vulnerable people. These are marginalized people. The Bakalahadi of Chief Kaiser also came on board, say we are also marginalized. And urban hunger, urban poverty is a reality of it. People are getting hungry in towns.
Let's return with economic news after the break. Stay with us. Ranging from current affairs, community stories, local index remains unchanged while overall...
Thank you for joining the show that highlights the news making headlines in the land of the brave and beyond.
Always major victorious.
In our economic news tonight, the stock of international reserves decreased to 49.7 billion Namibian dollars in May 2023 relative to 51.8 billion Namibian dollars at the end of April 2023. The decrease was on account of the net commercial bank outflow as a result of portfolio investment and import payments. The foreign reserve translated into 5.2 months of imports cover at this level, remaining above the international benchmark and adequate to support the currency peg between the Namibian dollar and the South African rand, the Bank of Namibia said. Now let's have a look at our economic indicators. The Namibian dollar trades at 23 Namibian dollars 91 cents to the British pound and 20 Namibian dollars 43 cents to the euro. All commodities have dropped on the market, with copper at 0.35%, platinum at 1.49%, copper at 1.17%. After the break, we return with the international news slot. Stay with us. The relationship between Britain and the EU is in a fantastic place, British Foreign Minister James Cleverly said as he arrived for a meeting with the EU lawmakers in Brussels on Monday. Earlier on the day, he attended a meeting of a joint body set up after the Brexit withdrawal agreement, after which he signed new documents, including ones related to Wisdom framework.
I had a formal meeting this morning with Vice President Šefčovič. I'll have a less formal meeting with him again this afternoon. I think it's an opportunity for the UK to work closely on the shared issues that we have with our friends in Europe, our support for Ukraine, our own economic development, and of course later on this year my Prime Minister will be hosting a summit on AI security, where inevitably we will be working very, very closely with our friends here in the EU and in the member states. So a lot of work to do. The relationship's in a fantastic place. We're taking advantage of this opportunity to be together to continue to work on these issues. Thank you very much.
Here are the weather predictions for Southern Africa, for Namibia for tomorrow. In the northern region, we will have a maximum temperature ranging from 28.9 degrees to 29.6 degrees and a minimum temperature ranging from 11.2 degrees to 12.9 degrees. It will be clear throughout the day with no precipitation. Though in the coastal region, the weather is expected to be ranging from 21.8 degrees to 27.8 degrees, and that is the maximum temperatures, and the minimum temperatures ranging from 13.8 degrees to 16.9 degrees. It will be clear or become cloudy in the afternoon with no or very little precipitation. Now we take a look at the sports package, proudly brought to you by Sports Rep.
Good evening, sports lovers. Welcome to Sunset News, brought to you by Sport Rep. My name is Limba Mupetami. The Brave Warriors of Namibia tournament. The teams will be back in Group A action on Saturday at 6 o'clock, with South Africa facing Botswana, followed by Namibia battling Eswatini. However, today you can expect to catch the Seychelles versus Comoros match, which started at 3 o'clock. These results will be available on Sport Rep Facebook. And right after the defending champions, Zambia will face Malawi at 6 o'clock. Those results will also be available on the Sport Rep Facebook page. Moving on, Netball Namibia President Rebecca Tsongakosi says for Namibia to keep its ranking with the International Netball Federation, it needs to be active to avoid being dropped off the log table. Namibia is currently ranked 23rd out of 44 netball playing nations. That ends today's Sunset News. Catch us again tomorrow, same place, same time.
Here are the highlights from tonight's broadcast. Stanley Shinabinda, the CEO of Telecom Namibia, shares 5 pillars of the integrated strategic business plan. The plan includes fiberizing the town of Oranjemund as the first smart city in Namibia. Urban and Rural Development Minister Erastus Uthoni today officially inaugurated Extension 15 and Sky Phase 1 sewer reticulation projects at Ongwediba in Oshana region. Netball Namibia President Rebecca Tsongakosi says for Namibia to keep its ranking with the International Netball Federation, it needs to be more active to avoid being dropped off the log table. And with that, we've come to the end of tonight's broadcast. Please do make sure you join Sunset News on Facebook on all NMH platforms on weekdays.